Set. Action.
I'm gonna kill you. And everyone you know. And your whole goddamn family.
Ironically enough, the scenes in this movie that perhaps will remind people of my other movies is a sort of a dream sequence in which the Ed Harris character is blown away by a shotgun. And that was in there when I first read the script, and it was not something that made me say, oh yes, I must do this movie at all. In fact, I might have even thought maybe that shouldn't be in there. Will it seem like an aside or a reference to my other movies?
I don't say anything, man.
No, you just laugh at him and you pointed at him.
So he shoots at me even though his guts are all over.
Listen, if I hadn't already done this, I would have him take the gun out of his guts. Well, I've sort of done that. And it would be unfortunately...
Been there, done that.
It would be an homage to myself, which I'm not above doing. I think not.
The challenging part about playing somebody like this guy is try to find something for yourself that makes it kind of interesting, where you just try to invest it with some specificity.
With sunglasses. Without sunglasses. With sunglasses.
I think with sunglasses.
Really?
Okay, let's say...
They can fly off.
Many of David's films have these dream sequences, these surreal kind of moments. In this film, I wasn't sure if it was going to work or not. And when I saw the first cut of the film, it wasn't even in there. David had already cut it.
Cut!
And I was impressed, actually, because I thought that that would be something maybe as a director he'd be attached to. But David focuses on what works for story and for character first and foremost. A lot of times, the things that you end up cutting are the things that are the biggest headaches. Sets have been built, people have stayed up all night to prepare for this big scene.
I don't need the jacket to get blown.
Okay, so
But he does have to be wearing the jacket.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
And so that way we could put some in the tie and blow the shirt around this part too, so
Yes.
it's all blood and everything.
3, 2, 1.
Every effect, even though it looks simple, really has little glitches to it that you got to make sure work because you're in front of the camera. You don't get many chances after that. On this film, Ed flew right off the seat, and the stunt guys had rigged him up to do so the timing was tied together.
What do you like better, David? Turn out of the corner of the frame?
Right at that buckle.
We also took the gun and we made it look like it was actually shooting real shells, but it wasn't. We had a little tiny pyrotechnic that we inserted inside the barrels. So he actually fired that gun about 2.5 feet away from Ed Harris.
That's bait.
Just like
A-frame.
B-speed.
Action!
3, 2, 1, go!
Cut!
You okay, Ed? That looks fantastic.
Are we gone again, guys? What's going on?
I don't think we need to go again.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think we need to go again. It looked great.
All right. Thanks for the opportunity.
It was a really great shot. I was very proud of that. We did that in one take.
All right, start up the wood chipper.
That's a good thing because we know that if it's one take, we did it really well.
You know, he goes, Ed Harris just goes flying back. He's lying on the ground, and as Tom Stahl walks toward him, Ed Harris, who's lying there with a huge hole, as if a cannonball went through his chest, and it's still steaming. So what we did was build like a set, build it up like 1 foot, and have the middle part of your body just kind of like sunk in, as to make it look as if you were lying on the floor and you were flat. So it gave me enough leeway to make a hole in the chest cavity. And the actor could use his own feet and his own arms, and it worked out great.
You need a few minutes?
It didn't have to be glued on. It was attached to a leotard with pins. So it was kind of like a big costume piece. It was made out of like foam latex with plastic bones. And then we put the clothes back around it that were like 3 times or 4 times the size of Ed Harris because it had to wrap around his own fake body, so to speak. And then we ripped open the chest and we put like all the fake blood and stuff. Neil Trifanovich, who's the effects supervisor on the show, pumped in some smoke so it looked like nice smoking ribs.
So we can place it wherever we want to. It'll come underneath the floor and come up into his chest area. And these have a little bit of a wooden pick through the middle that will burn and keep the thing ignited the whole time. And they're very noticeable on camera. Smoke pellets.
I don't get off on that stuff like David does and stuff, you know, the guts and the gore and the prosthetics. But I enjoy his enjoyment of it.
You know, I mean, gargling and shit, right?
Sorry?
I'm not like blue.
Oh, no.
Yeah, just
No,
like
you're
mine.
happy and healthy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're loving this.
But it's David's own anti-violence statement, I think, as well, in some bizarre way.
Stainless Beretta, two-tone Beretta, all black Beretta, or the Sig Sauer.
Probably this one, you know?
Probably the Sig Sauer.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
You know, it was a complicated day of shooting that required a lot of planning. But the positive is, when you shoot those scenes, you're exploring different aspects of the film, and that ultimately will better the movie, even if it's not in the film.
Fire!